Arya Stark is one of the most fundamentally misunderstood characters in the entirety of Game of Thrones, A Song of Ice and Fire, almost to the point where it makes me stop enjoying the character because I can't separate all these sexist bullshit that people try to put on her. And yeah, it drives me crazy. And the thing that gets put on her all the time is that Arya doesn't like women, or more specifically, doesn't like girly things, women-adjacent things, whatever. And as far as the TV show goes, like, makes it like an actual hatred of women as well. Like, I'm not gonna like sell them short on that. She multiple times says like something to the effect of like, oh, girls are dumb, oh, women are dumb, blah, 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 blah. When she's with Tywin in season 2 in Harrenhal, she literally says most girls are stupid when he like asks her like, oh, aren't you like a girl who likes the songs? Like, Arya has no problem with the songs. She like, what are you talking about? Oh, most girls are stupid. That is not Arya Stark. And the reason this gets put on her is because of her relationship with Sansa. Sansa, who is an inherently feminine character, stands in kind of opposition to her, Arya, who is acting in a bit more of a masculine way. And so naturally, that means that, ooh, Arya, like boy things, must hate the girl. And more than that, must hate the girl things themselves, which is not the case. That is a misunderstanding of what is going on with their character dynamic, and it's rooted, I'm sorry, in sexism. When people try to compare the two and be like, oh, Sansa sucks because she's weak and did this and blah, blah. Arya, on the other hand, was so strong and brave and blah, blah. That's sexist. It's sexist. It just is. The framing that you are using to justify your argument is a sexist thing. It is tying femininity to weaker or negative things while promoting the quote-unquote masculine actions as the positive thing. And for Arya, it is not a matter of her disliking the feminine things, the girly things. Arya doesn't like failure. Her arc and her relationship with her sister is a reflection of older sister, younger sister, okay? Anyone who has had that like older sibling, younger sibling dynamic, I'm sure is at least familiar with the idea of like the older sibling who is just good at like a certain skill set, typically like the skill set that's expected of them. And then the younger sibling comes in and is immediately compared to the older sibling, like on all counts. And if they are not as good as their older sibling, at those things that they're being compared with, they are going to, get a negative reaction from the people in charge. And that is what's happening with Sansa and Arya. It has never been about Arya hating the girly things. It has been about the fact that Sansa is really good at them, and Arya doesn't have the same natural skill at it. So when she tries to learn the thing that Sansa is learning at the same time for her, whether it's needlework or like doing the dresses or whatever, she feels less than because she is not up to snuff. And so this should not be an indictment of Sansa for, excelling in the system and, trying to hold on to that, because that is what anyone would do, especially when you see what happens if you don't excel, which is like the kind of double horror of the older sibling, younger sibling dynamic is like, yeah, the younger sibling is always being negatively compared to the older sibling, but the older sibling is seeing what's happening to the younger sibling when they aren't, doing as well, and now they have extra incentive to want to avoid that fate. So Arya likes women. She respects women. She loves the women in her family, all the historical women. Arya is obsessed with historical women who are in and of themselves a lot of the time also feminine, as well as doing the traditionally masculine thing. All she's trying to do is avoid this comparison to Sansa, which inevitably is going to result in a failure for her, because that's like the sad thing about these two siblings in this society is they are both desperately trying to avoid failure. It's just in contradictory ways. Sansa is so conscious of what is expected of her and is trying her best never to let up so that she never gets to that point of failure. And then Arya is the reverse. She knows she's going to fail, so she's trying to avoid the thing that leads to her failure. And with both of them, it's because they both desperately crave this validation. And I would argue that Arya is the one who wants it the absolute most because, she's avoiding the things that specifically lead to her not getting it, and then is looking for other means of getting that validation, which is where the things like fighting and swordplay and needle come in, because it is something that Sansa can't claim, that she can't be compared to Sansa in, that she is now, latching onto, because this is something that can be hers just hers, and she can get validation for it. And you could try to argue and say, like, oh, but, Sansa wants validation more because look at all the stuff she's doing. I'm like, yeah, but Sansa gets validation. Arya doesn't. And that's kind of the tragedy of her character. Arya is constantly, throughout this series, trying to get things that she doesn't have, whether it's validation, whether it's a family, whether it's a pack. That's kind of her struggle. And she is finding ways to do it. That's her entire arc, is her pivoting every time something doesn't work and trying something else. Oh, this group doesn't want me. Let me try with this group. Oh, they don't want me either. Let me try the Hound. Oh, I'm not liking this dynamic. Let me try going to Bravos. Like, there's always like another like pivot trying to find that like group, that community that will give her that validation that she craves. Similar to Brienne, if Arya had been good at those things and gotten the validation that she wanted, I think she would have happily done them. It's the fact that like she was never as naturally talented, which meant she didn't get the thing as quickly, and then there would be no incentive to try because she's immediately being put down to it. So she doesn't even have the opportunity to try to do it in a way where she's not being stressed out by like Septa Mordain yelling in her ear. And this is why I've always said that I think Arya is this like fascinating like character study in gender performance, like as it exists in literary theory. This is the idea that, gender, which is separate than sex, is a construct. Gender is a societal norm that is a series of actions that are performed, hence gender performance. So Sansa, for example, has learned all the actions and is able to perform them to the degree that the society deems her a lady. She has successfully ladied through her actions. Arya hasn't. Arya, all of the gendered acts that she has to do, she is bad at. And so she identifies like less and less with those acts, which in gender performance, it's the acts themselves that are the identity. And so she seeks out other things that she can do, and in this case, the other acts that she is seeking out tend to fall in the male side of what society deems as like a male gendered act. This is an indictment of like womanhood. It's an admission of like not being accepted by it. And really, before people like in the comments like try to argue like Sansa and Arya, like guys, also they're 9 and 11. Like they are meant to fight at this age. The issue is that the stakes around them with everything going on are so much higher that they're like little squabbles, like, have bigger consequences. So fuck off with any like a lady in Nymeria, and then if Sansa had to blow, shut up. Damn, I'm spicy today. I've been in a library for 8 hours. It's fine. The lighting is so bad. But in conclusion, shut the fuck up and stop comparing Sansa to Arya. It's dumb, okay? And also, if you are the person who left the original comment that I attach this video to, I am sorry. This is not directed at you. I'm agreeing with your point. I just needed to comment. Anyway, if you like unhinged car rants with bad lighting, please let me know in the comments. Tell me what you want me to scream about next at midnight. Okay, goodbye.